Hello and welcome again to another one of my videos on the stuff that's in my stash. This time around I'm talking about the Hasegawa 172 scale Northrop F-5A Freedom Fighter. I found this kit when I was rummaging through my stuff looking for the models that were requested by Lady Death. Tend to keep all the Hasegawas together, so I found this one and I decided to share this because the T38 which I have, actually it's closer to an F-5B, right? And now I've got an F-5A. So I'm an F-5A, I've got an F-5B. So let's have a look at this. This is in the earlier boxing, that is the one that brings back memories for Lady Death. It has a picture here, and then it's got the wordings over here. Very familiar for me, very classic. Okay. I remember seeing this similar boxing for the A4 Skyhawk. And this just brings back a lot of memories for me. Side, you have the other markings option, which is Canadian Air Force F-5A. So this, I suppose, is correctly called the CF-5A. The one on the box top is of the Royal Netherlands Air Force. It's a Dutch aircraft. Okay, so fully loaded up. Okay, that's the side. This is kit number A16. And then on here, this is the view that you would normally see in a shelf, right? In a model shop, this is what you would see. Okay, I hope that brings back memories. This side shows you all the other offerings in this range. Bell UH-1D, Fuji T-1A, Spitfire Mark 1, P-51, and the F-86F in JASDF colors. I don't know whether that's supposed to be a F-40 wing or something else, but well, that's a different story altogether, and I will talk about that some other time, I suppose. So back to this kit. Nice box art, and as I said, it does bring back memories for me. And it's a lid and tray arrangement. So you just pop that off, put that here, and you see the kit in the box. That's how it comes out from the box, and it's wrapped in this very nice classic cellophane. Can you hear that? Oh, I'm going to do that again. That's a great sound, isn't it? So that's the kit that you get from Hasegawa, all neatly wrapped up in its house cellophane bag. Okay, and everything is inside here. Okay, I'm just gonna put that aside first for the moment and take out the instruction sheet. Let's talk about the instruction sheet first. It's a two-fold, very simple. It's even smaller than an A4 sheet. And you have a picture of the F5 A. I think this is the earlier box art, so they just kept that for this instruction sheet. I think these were the original markings, USAF. Again, they have not changed anything, so that's fine. I think that's an interesting side note. That's the address of Hasegawa Plastic Model Company in Shizuoka, Japan. Plastic model capital of the world, I suppose. And then you have what I like about these instruction sheets, the older ones, right, would be that they actually talk to you. They tell you stuff. So you have this about, please be careful, read the instruction sheet carefully, familiarize yourself with everything. Then you have a parts map. Now, interestingly enough, the parts map that you see here, this looks like suspiciously more like an F-5B profile, right? You can see the two-seater arrangement. But okay, I'm not going to complain too much. Then you have this one, which is the wings and everything, and then you have the ordnance. Okay, so it's 3 sprues in this kit, apparently. So we come to step 1. And step 1 shows you fuselage halves, air intakes, and then the pilot seat and the pilot. Straight up, you will know immediately that your cockpit needs work. Now, you could either go to town and fit in an entire aftermarket resin tub, or you could just be happy and live with this, and maybe, or in between, which is just add a couple of plastic card strips to depict the side consoles and the instrument panel. Okay, use a bit of referencing, simplify it a little bit. You should get somewhere with that. I think not that difficult. What I like again about these instructions is that they teach you what the parts are supposed to be, using the terminology that would be applicable to an aircraft, right? So you have fuselage left, fuselage right, the cockpit, pilot, of course. Then you have separator, which is a splitter plate, right? And then you have the air intake. Okay, straight up already, just this instruction sheet alone is instructive in teaching you not only how to assemble and build the plane, but also about aircraft nomenclature. Okay, step 2, you've already got the fuselage, so then you fit the wings, and then the canopy, and then the wingtip sidewinder missiles, the nose, the gun muzzles, and then the pitot tube right at the very tip. And what does it say? Main wing, tail, air intake, pitot tube. I was right. Machine guns. Okay, so those are Colt cannons, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Vertical tail and rudder, nose part of fuselage, sidewinder. That's right, sidewinder, and then the canopy. Okay, close it off to this side. That's the last step. I think this is like probably the shortest model kit I've looked at recently. You have the rest of the aircraft is already more or less complete, you know. Then you just add on the undercarriage, okay, and then the ordnance, okay, and then the jet pipes, and then yeah, pretty much the nose wheel and the nose wheel doors. So you have again a list of all the parts what you're assembling here. Okay, it doesn't tell you what kind of missile, but from this picture alone, I think that's a bullpup. Okay, and then bomb shackle, bomb upper, bomb lower. Those are the pieces and stuff like that, and that's it. And then it announces to you completed model. Okay, so that's the instruction sheet. I'll put that here. Now we come to this. Now, I am going to pop this open. I mean, you guys are here for a reason, right? You're here to see what's inside. So I'm not gonna just show you this through that cellophane and say, there, you see that? That's a model. No, we're gonna pop this open. Okay, and I think the safer side of opening this is gonna. Again, I'm doing this on purpose to make all those nice crackling noises with the cellophane. Okay, so please bear with me. Knife. Hold that down. My long-suffering work table gets another cut. Pop that off. And then now we just pull everything out. Okay. Hear that? Now put that aside, and then let's have a look at this. Decal sheet. Okay, it doesn't feel bad, but it is yellowed, but not as bad as I expected. You know, the reds are still quite vibrant, and the blue is still quite nice and deep, and it's pretty much in register, right? The yellow is pretty obvious. The yellowing is pretty obvious here, so I think this is salvageable. I'll see whether I can use some UV lamp or something to fix that. I definitely not going to put it into the tropical sunlight that you get here in this part of the world. That tends to fade things out pretty much. So I'm going to just try that and see what happens. These are the 3 sprues. Okay, let's deal with this one first. This is the main fuselage. This is the left, and that's the right. That's the main undercarriage legs, the struts. That's the nose wheel. The nose wheel has been integrally molded with the landing strut. There's a couple of the pylons. I believe those are the air brakes, and then a couple of doors here, I think, for the undercarriage. Okay. Very, very fine raised panel lines, right? Shiny plastic. Okay, this is why I like using a video, because then I can do that. I can move that up and down and let the light play over it so that you can see how well molded this thing is, and it's very, very well molded. Okay, there, see the tail, the rudder? Okay, see the way the light plays over it? Very nice. Okay, very, very nice. The nose, likewise. Okay, very smooth transitions, right? And I think Hasegawa has captured the so-called Coke bottle shape of the fuselage. Can you see that? That is very nice. Okay, so very, very nice. Let me try and disentangle it. There we go. This is the sprue which holds the ordnance, which I think for those of us who are now familiar with Hasegawa kits, ordnance is not something you find in most of their kits nowadays. Okay, you have to buy that separately. That's fine, because then I assume that helps to keep the cost of the model down. I think I try not to think of it as a gimmick to force you to buy more stuff from them. That's the bullpup missile, classic. And then you have it in two halves. Well, it's not two halves, huh? Let's be clear, it's not in two halves, because there are two parts like this with wings, and then you have the lower sections here. Okay, so it's not in two halves. It's not an exact replica on either side. So there is this part with the wings, and then you have this other part with one more wing, which you then glue on there. Okay. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm being very pedantic about these things. You know, when somebody tells me, would you like the bigger half of that piece of cake? No, I'm sorry. There's no such thing as a bigger half, right? Anyway, I'm digressing again. This are the Sidewinder missiles over here. That's the pylon. That's the nose, petard tube, and the tip of the nose itself. Those, I believe, are the cannon barrels for the Colts. Yeah, there, they fit there. Okay. And then that's the nose itself. I think that's a very nice shape. I think they've captured that very subtle little shape, that little gentle rise of the lower side of the of an F5. Okay, I think that's nice. Those are the bombs, I think, and I think that's a pretty big one. I'm not sure whether it's a 1,000-pounder or not, but it's a big bomb. Okay, and again, it comes in two pieces, not two halves. It's got this piece with 3 wings, and then the other one with 1 wing, and then you just glue them both together. Okay. That has got to be the wingtip rails for the sidewinders. So the wingtip would fit inside here, I think, and the sidewinders would fit there. I think. Okay. So that's the parts. Just a slow, gentle spin around just to show you how the light plays over them so that you can see the quality of the plastic and the plastic molding. That's actually very nice. Okay. Last sprue. This is the tail assembly of the F5, and it's typical of F5 kits. They come like that, right? Even the Airfix one came like this. The lower panel, and then the rear wing surfaces, tail surfaces. One of the drop tanks, the main drop tank, I think. Sorry, it is the main drop tank. And again, it comes in 2 pieces. Okay, 3 wings on one side, 1 wing on the other. Okay, and that's the pylon on which it is mounted. Main wing, molded in 1 piece. Okay. All right. Very shallow wheel wells. Okay. So there we are. I mean, those are the holes which have already been provided to you for the pylons. I think for me, I would just prefer to just pop the pylons on and then mount the ordnance. It just adds so much character to the F5 to have this ordnance all hanging from it, right? And then you have the tailpipes and then the main wheels. Let's have a look at the detail of the main wheels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many is that? 8? 8 holes? Not very even, are they? Spaced out. But it looks nice. And it's chubby enough. Okay. Intakes, and as somebody commented, right, that's how you identify a T-38 from an F-5, and these are the exact air intakes that you would find in the T-38 kit. So which means that's wrong lah. You know, the T-38 kit actually is more of an F-5B kit, which is fine for me because then I've got an F-5A and I've got an F-5B. Okay, I just need to get the right decals now for it. Pilot figure, a bit of flash here, and then you have the main gear. I think it's not the main gear doors, but it's something else. I'm not sure what that is. Those are the main gear doors. Those two things over there. That's the pilot seat. That one over there. And then these are the main gear doors as well, where they fit over the fuselage. Right. Interestingly enough, right, the main gear doors would fit over these spaces here, which means that if you pose the thing, I think whether it's wheels down or wheels up, the gear doors, these gear doors are up, they're not down. Okay, either way, which is why Hasegawa provided this as just one solid piece like that. You would ask yourself, right, if that's the case, why don't you just mold it shut as part of the molding? And I think that might have been one way of looking at it, but that's not how Hasegawa approached it. They gave you something else to glue down there. Okay, so let's look at that. One last glance at the way the light plays over the air intakes. Some slight distortion here and there, but I don't think you would call it distortion. I just think that's just how it is. Not too noticeable, and I think under a coat of paint and primer it should be fine. Okay, so that's the third sprue. And then the canopy. Now the canopy is very nice and thin. Hope you can see that. All right, let's see whether I can get the light to show you. Not really. See it? It's quite thin. Okay. And clear. Not very much in the way of distortion. And I think that's a very nice shape. Okay, so this one goes into a little bag as well. So that's it, and all that remains is for me to say thank you for joining me on this little video. This actually looks quite like a decent kit. Raised panel lines, but nicely detailed. I have to do a comparison with the Airfix of the same vintage, right? And the Airfix F-5A was a bit sad, to be honest. That being said, I think I do have the Airfix F-5A markings. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Iranian Air Force markings, you know. So I think I should be able to find those, and I can then use those on this one if I wanted to. But I think the decals which I have inside here, they are a bit yellowed. Oh, I didn't talk about the decals. Let's talk about the decals then. Silly me. Okay, very quickly. The decals. Well, actually, I did talk about the decals. They did look nice. I remember now. This K3005. So, okay, I did talk about the decals. Okay, so anyway, I might use this. If I can't, I'll use the Airfix ones, which I still have in my decal dungeon. Okay, it's basically just a sealed box, airtight, and then we'll see what comes up. But this generally has been a very nice kit to look at, and I think it's nice to know that I've got an F-5A and an F-5B. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon for another one of my videos. Thank you again to Lady Dev for suggesting that I look at Hasegawa kits. I have a couple to share, obviously, and I think I have a few more lying about. So until the next time, thank you very much for joining me. Stay safe, watch those knife blades, and above all, when you're looking at your own model kits and when you're building them, please do have fun. Okay. Thank you so much, and I will see you again soon.